rounds into this half. There's a good nade. That's not bad. Need more of it, but they're out of HEs actually in this round. So Lagia is going to use the smoke to block off drop, make this a one front battle towards you just have to be impressed with Space Soldiers. I think I'd rather focus on the fact that Space Soldiers have been playing so well, and look how aggressive. They don't want to slow this down. They just want to end the game, and Paz is doing work. He's closed out plenty of rounds, and this time he starts it out with 2 kills, and there's not even a chance for Big to fight back into it.
I mean, especially in a round like this where, yes, they could buy, but you don't have all the Molotovs and HE grenades to stop that kind of a rush in. So he just comes through the smoke. You're just finished boosting that guy onto the box, and everybody's blind, and then they're dead.
I think the tough part for it as well is, as a player, sometimes when you're getting beat down this bad, right? Like you have a conversation with whoever you're playing a bomb site with, and you're like, all right, this is what we're going to do this round. This is what they're doing. This is exactly how we're going to counter it. You go here, I'll go here. If this happens, I'll throw this flash or this nade or whatever it might be. And you're focused so much on what that adjustment is that you like almost forget to like look away from those flashbangs for the rush, right? Because both those big players were blind. That can't happen. That's something that generally is worked out that somewhat avoids those initial flashbangs. And this time they didn't do it. Paz is able to just crush them.
Brutal beginning here to the first map of day number 4, 12-1 in favor of Space Soldiers. I mean, we have to keep an eye on this.
That's so sick. They even throw like a follow-up flashbang as well. Different. 3 players towards long A, and actually I think Big has the read because they're not feeling any pressure towards the B bomb site that they've had coming from that in pretty much every other round, so they're going to go over with it. There's some great proactive play across the map. Still doesn't work out, of course. That's unfortunate. Calyx going to follow up on Engine. A 3rd player is here. Paz gets 1 more kill and running into the fire. Oh no, Big. You had the stack, you had the pop flash peak, you had the flames on the ground, you had the nade into the choke point, and still Space Soldiers wins everything.
Yeah, they lined it up so perfectly. The reaction from Santaros is so quick as well. He gets flashed, he just jumps to the side, and then his teammate just takes over and says, I've got this. Very, I mean, this is, when you're at this point for Big, I feel like, and maybe this has been their feeling throughout the tournament, just that nothing's working. Like, whatever it is we're doing, just everything is failing at this point.
Yeah. There's no real good answer, it seems, at the moment. Double op setup for the T side, so another new look on the offense. Space Soldiers just running up the score. Hoping that at this point someone from Big is so frustrated that they just want to go take a peek and take a fight and walk right into an AWP.
Grenades being used early on here. Tabzin inside of the B bomb site. The rest spread out across the map. Very similar setup, but again, what else can you do at this point? Space Soldiers, they've gone fast and they've gone slow, and it's all been working. There's a bit of a fight there as Gobby goes down. A little bit of team damage in between, I believe, but nothing that really matters. Just 1 round where they had a double AWP setup, and even that they couldn't really sort of power through with.
Do they go back to T-spawn and trade out for the AKs? They don't have either of the ops anymore. So Xantares now working his way through drop. There's Paz. He's going to swing around the corner. Actually, this is one of the rare times that actually won that initial fight, but it doesn't matter. Pressure comes from the other angle. And that one has success. And Keeve, I feel like he's just felt so lonely this whole game.
Yeah, he's been just on the other side of the map, and all the action has been here. 14-1, ladies and gentlemen. Space Soldiers just a couple of steps now from continuing. They're obviously not going to go all the way through to Boston just yet, but at least they're going to avoid elimination, which cannot be said for Big if they don't make essentially a 15-round comeback here.
It's got to be 15 in a row to win, or, you know, play for overtime.
Yeah, 14 can work too.
Listen, this is where you get into all the platitudes. 1 round at a time.
Give me some more platitudes, Mark.
That's the only one I had, actually, for this big of a disparity.
On any given Monday?
Sunday.
Yeah, but it's Monday, so.
That's a good point. I'll take it all back. Yeah, any given Monday, game of 2 halves. That's Yanko's favorite, as he would say.
Right, yeah.
Game of 2 halves.
Tweet us your And Major and Xantares now 2 versus 3 as they take down Legia, but the bomb is down. They should not be able to retake this. Big can play for time here and just wait them out. Oh. Shoot them in the faces works.
Yeah, shooting in the face always works. Xantares now, he did pick up a kit. He's got armor. He's got 1 flashbang as well. He's got to find his first kill, and he gets completely blinded. There's some of that utility usage from Big that we haven't been able to see yet, but a great opening from Legia. I don't know what... That's an interesting way to fall back into drop zone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm fine with you holding plateau, but not on that side of the wall.
That can't be the plan.
No, definitely not a good idea. So yeah, he misstepped a tiny bit, definitely got punished for it. Great opening for Big. 12 and 14. So we're just gonna... The trouble now is... All you can do really watching the game is just hold your breath and wait, you know? Like it's even if they get up to like 14-8, you still can't really be like, oh yeah, it's really how you know that one misstep is probably going to be the end of it. So yeah, let's see what they can do. Let's make them prove it to us.
Well, on behalf of Henry G, I have to talk about why Space Soldiers has decided to invest into this round as Major gets burned alive. You're up 14-1, you lose the pistol, no reason. Just make sure your first gun round, you have everything you could want.
Yeah, that's true. Henry was not loving that yesterday.
I mean, don't love it at any point. I think economy is one of those weird parts of the game that is very convoluted these days with some of the bonus money and everything, but there is just no sense to it when you have that big of a lead. Like, you don't need to get this second round, you don't need to turn it around. And yeah, now this likely will have no impact on the game because of how widespread the score is, but
a simple way to put it is you need 2 more rounds and you have, 14 with which to get the 2, and now are you more likely to get those 2 using C sets or M4s? Right. So why not have more M4 rounds, basically?
Yeah. And it just puts you in that scary spot where they could make a comeback if you... The one way they can make a comeback into this game is if Space Soldiers just completely destroy their own economy. So we'll see, but a good second round in this second half for Big. They're going to get a third. Interesting enough, it is Legia leading the way. 14 kills for him. He's the only one who's not negative. He's 14 and 14.
Yeah, you're right. Not always the player that we look for. But I mean, at this point, anybody who wants to take up the mantle and try and push the team forward should probably be welcome to do so. 14-3, and the 18th round now commencing. Good news is we're going to get a couple of more rounds. We'll get the cobblestone or the Dragon Lord drop, Moses. You thought about that?
Maybe that's the plan all along.
Maximize
doing it for the people.
Do remember, guys, the more people that watch, the higher the rate is of the drops. So if you invite your friends, it increases the drop rate for everybody. So you have an incentive to get people to watch. Think about it, especially on this map.
That'd be quite nice. Well, there's Gabi again leading the way. Another stack towards the A bomb site for Space Soldiers. Molotov, they can hear the calls coming out. Flashbangs, utility being spent now. Nades doing great damage, so are the flames. So many players from Space Soldiers brought down low, and it's a pinch onto the bomb site, and this is feeling uncomfortable. Great win from Paz. Unfortunately, the rest of the team can't do a whole lot. And Paz is just going to bail out with his armor and CZ. Run to the other side of the map. Live with that armor. It's $1,000 he wouldn't have to spend. 23 and 6 for him. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah, imagine having died only 6 times in 18 rounds. That's, well, round isn't quite done, but still, that's not bad at all.
No.
So, I mean, good. This is a good round for Big in the sense that even though there was a big stack on that B bomb site, they didn't sort of overcommit to the fight, right? They let Space Soldiers wait it out and peek themselves into death, and then that was it. So you want to see that. You want to see them really keep the cool here.
I mean, even down this big of a disparity, you've got to imagine that Gabi's going to have a well-drilled team, especially on the T side. And you don't just lose that discipline regardless of the score, regardless of how, excited and hopeless you're feeling. You're still going to be able to throw the nades and use the advantage of your rifle. So here we go into the first gun round. This is where, just quickly to refer back to that second round about their buy, if you look at guys like Major, Xantares, and Calyx, yes, they have the M4s, but some are missing head armor, and then you look at the nades, they don't have smokes, they don't have kits. So only one kit, that's on Engine, and that's because he went down to the UMP. So this is where not investing into that second round could have really helped Space Soldiers.
We'll see if it's going to come back to haunt them. I feel like, especially in retake situations, lacking those grenades can be so rough. Oh, has the timing. Got B. Makes himself known, and is going to be forcing them back. Engine as well on the ramp. Just slightly drawing back from that position. Major, though, is quite far forward on that plateau. You love to see that.
Engine has taken a lot of damage from Spam, down to 17 HP. So he's going to have a really tough time if a hit were to come in, and it's looking likely at the moment. 4 players here already. Tapson as the 5th is rotating over. Major should be able to have the information. If I think they just got pop flashed and peeked into a new position. They should be finding this out between him and Xantares. I imagine we'll see some kind of a rotate coming right now, and yeah, Xantares is kind of cheated, but hasn't committed to it. So a lot of pressure on Paz. If he goes down, Engine cannot even get in a fight.
Ooh, well, Legia is gone already. To bring the bomb back towards the B bomb site. Xantares is starting to rotate out. This fake is actually working out big, and this is what they've been doing so much in the tournament so far. They've been very good at drawing out their opponents once they're on the T side, but now they've got B, so now the rotation is going to start to come back. Xantares looking into the site. He wins the fight against Tapson. That was the one thing that could not happen. They needed everybody here on Big to stay alive, and goes for a bit more. The bomb gets dropped with 10 seconds left. It's even a 1 versus 5, and Xantares will take every single one of them down at the end. 15-4. I mean, they had the whole team drawn out of the B bomb site. Yeah. It wasn't enough.
No, it really wasn't whatsoever. And I mean, Xantares is essentially winning a 1v3 over on that side of the map. Great job from Paz. That first kill. These are critical. I mean, this kill comes in when all of his teammates are there, but like we said, Engine was so low. If he had lost that initial battle, and Xantares gets back in a position, he kind of senses what's coming eventually, and as the clock is running out, Big not even in the bomb site planting, he's able to get those 3 kills. Was just trying to hold his ground for the retake. Paz again flashed back as he was last round. A double op setup. Desperation for Big.
More exchanges coming through the door. Very scary for Legia. Almost walked right into it. Could have worked out as well. Pretty aggressive with the AWP, not scared to take the fight at close range. And at this stage, they really sort of do have to roll the dice to try and find a way back into the game. Need to win 11 straight rounds to get into even just overtime. Now there's going to be the boost in the middle, very popular. It could have definitely been a kill, but missed the opportunity. The tree caught the bullet instead, and Keeb will take down Paz, so now something's happening.
As Xantares has rotated, Engine still taking that fight, ill-advised. And Xantares again is all alone. He's going to try and make his way to the side. I think they spotted him with that jump, and the op is swift from Keeb. Calyx and Major just backing away from this fight. Want to keep the rifles. They're going to be a broken economy again. If they do want to buy into this, they'd have to have these 2 M4s survive, and even then it would struggle to get some good weaponry on the other 3 players, so whatever they can do here at the end.
That's not bad at all, but the game really does change quite a bit when you've got your back to the wall like this, when you can't lose any rounds, no mistakes. It's great if you can continue to have openings like this. You can obviously pull all the way through. I think the trouble hits if you have a start where nobody even has to die, but just 2 people get sort of wounded, get to below 40 health. Yeah. Then oh man, this is the round. Now it's gonna it can definitely change the mentality on the team.
The nice thing, I mean, if there is a silver lining, which I guess technically there's not, but when you're down this much, I don't think you really feel that pressure of elimination of the last round ending things until you get close to being able to actually make a comeback. Like until you get to like 10, 11 rounds, like you'll still see like crazy aggressive plays because Big knows they have nothing to lose at this point. Essentially, they've already kind of lost the game. If they get back up towards 10 or 11, that's when you'll start to see maybe a bit more reserved play, a little bit more like you actually are scared of taking a fight that you'll lose.
They managed to put Space Soldiers' economy back in the hole, and at least that is working out, so not bad at all here. Keeb quite quick with the AWP. As we said in the first half, he was isolated for so much of the time on the other side of the map. Couldn't really do anything.
Well, just pistols. Fast pace towards the B site. Kiev, this is what I'm talking about. Kiev is going to be making aggressive plays. Gets dropped there. Tapson has found his way out, dropped. No one had his eyes on it. Missed some shots, though. That was a bit sketchy, but now Legia's chimed in, so Space Soldiers slowed it down, but they can't stop it, and now they've got Calyx out in the open. Xantares is next up for Tapson. This is what we saw against North, was Tapson just being a beast coming down drop. And at least doing it in that round against Pistols. It would be, I mean, if they want to make this comeback, he's got to wake up.
And he slowly is. I mean, you saw him have 0 kills for a very long time in that first half, and now he's up to 11. So third on the scoreboard on his own team, which is, I mean, pretty impressive actually. So done a good job. You could argue that it's a bit late, maybe, in the day to sort of wake up, but he just seems to not have a good time at all playing the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, his you have to remember as well, they attacked his position quite frequently, and they usually did it, I mean, without Big gaining any kind of momentum or stringing rounds together. They could never really get a solid economy going, so poor guy didn't have sometimes the tools needed to slow down some of those aggressive plays from Space Soldiers.
Managed to get the first kill this time on Engine, and they burned out Major a bit. There's the counter boost that we've been talking about that's been lacking. They don't really go all the way up, and you can tell Legia is on the other side, slightly paranoid that something's going to be coming. Even if they get the kill on Legia here, they should be able to just rush the A-bomb site, no problem. But they started to rotate over. Because Major's boosted up, they're going to put Calyx over there as well. It's interesting.
Ooh, almost the timing. Legia, though, responds quite nice. That should set off the bells. Not necessarily that they have to go back, but they should realize they're going to encounter some form of resistance. It doesn't really matter, does it? 3 headshots come out from the AKs, Tapson, Nex, and Gob. So they've got 7 now, Anders.
It's definitely trending in the right direction.
What number do they need to get to before you say, all right?
15. I mean, I know it's depressing, Moses, but
that was a fun game that we played right now.
Yeah,
just there.
Just shutting it down. I mean, I think the problem is actually, I would say these are the easier rounds to win, because right now I think there is obviously pressure on Big, but I think you also have that like almost delirious feeling of like, I mean, what can we do? Let's just pray and do our best, you know. Let's show them what we got while we're going out. But once you get to 14-15, like 13-15, 14-15, then it becomes serious again.
Here's the thing. It was, I mean, Space Soldiers just yesterday came back from 13 to 2 or 2 to 13 down against Gambit on Train to make a very close game of it. Yeah. So they better realize that, you know, they should close this out as soon as possible. And surely there's 2 opening picks. Gob gets 1. Nex and Legia combined to burn Major. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time he's died from a molly in this half. And all of a sudden a 5-on-3. And yeah, the one, I mean, just to go back to that, the one thing that Adren said after they'd won the game, I mean, they eventually did win it out, Gambit. He said in the postgame, when you get up 13-2, you do not necessarily like fall asleep, but you feel so confident that you don't feel worried until the comeback has already essentially happened. You know, you look at the score and you're like, 15-7, that's fine. 15-8, that's fine. 15-9, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, they have 13 rounds. If we lose this, we're broke, and then they can get to overtime. So, I mean, as much as this was an incredible start for Space Soldiers, they need to make sure they close this out quick.
Yeah, there's no reason. I mean, especially because you have to remember, even if Space Soldiers win this game, they're going to be playing more games today. So you want to make sure that you have the strength for it, that you're not doubting yourself too much. Like, why not close this game out as soon as you can, and then you can watch the other teams play. You can sort of prepare yourself mentally. If you have to sort of spend too much energy and you barely win this game or win it in overtime or something like that, sure, it'll deplete a little bit of your confidence. It has to. 3-5 here, and obviously for a long time this round has already been lost from Space Soldiers. They already decided to save, and they're going to be in the B-bomb side, while Big are out hunting for them. And why should they not? They have so much money, and they obviously can't save the guns anyway. So,
and this is just more of the more they take these rifles away, the easier the following rounds are going to go. And you know, I mentioned it at the start, the one way that the Big can come back into this is if they make sure that they keep the economy of Space Soldiers just as ruined as possible throughout it. And picking these guns would be a nice step. Calyx survives. And he does even longer, but not at the end. Legia finds it with the pistol.
It's like we always say, those last seconds, they just last so long.
They just hang, don't they?
Oh, Major. Would he feel... No, it's going to spread into the corner, isn't it? He had 1 HP in that corner, so when that Molotov came in, he was like, oh, shit. Not good, is it?
He's just like, oh, guys, I'm dead. I'm dead. Doing his best for impression.
I need a fire extinguisher, quick. Help.
What comes next in this game, Anders? You think they make like a water grenade that your teammate can throw? Actually, I guess smoked is the same thing. That'd be kind of pointless, yeah.
Smoke water balloons, though. That is a friendly thought, isn't it? Just to soften up Counter-Strike a bit for the sensitive audience. I hope not.
Well, Xanter's burning alive to Nex and picked off by Legia. Starting to look good on this T side. There's some of that tactical brilliance that we saw to them that so many people respect out of GOG-B-led teams over the years. Doing a very good job. It's, I mean, yeah, it's against pistols, but these rounds have been clean. Like, they haven't even been in danger in some of these force buys that Space Soldiers have had, and you have to admire that at the very least. Molotov out, they know exactly where he is. You can hear the shouts across the studio, and actually, he does burn Nex. He's got himself in a 1-on-2, all of a sudden a 1-on-1.
Oh no, how has this happened? The Molotov actually burns him alive, and now triple kill for Calix, waiting on the other side there. Key with the timing, but it's not good enough. Quad kill, and just like that, with pistols and nothing else, Calix saving Space Soldiers here so that they didn't have to continue fighting this battle.
Came out of nowhere.
That was so quick.
Came so fast that he just wins that and turns that around. And you could see crushing defeat and a crushing way to lose just when they're starting to build momentum in that second half to make some kind of a heroic comeback. That one even hurts me.